So as we know now, the Sullivans have taken their kids out of school, in particular the twins, right, to be homeschooled by the world's most intelligent of families, that is Ben and Zoe Sullivan. Now, I covered this obviously the other day and a lot of you watched it, so thank you so much for that. But I've just checked their Patreon, right, and I didn't see this beforehand. This was actually posted before the video came out on YouTube, and I think it actually gives a bit more of an insight into what actually happened. Okay, we can guess what happened based on what they put out on YouTube, but she really reveals one or two more things here, which is quite interesting. And I think that it's quite out of order that she's put this behind a paywall and has kind of hidden it from everybody, including the teachers and school and the administrators and everyone in the community. So, without further ado, we're going to delve into this to see exactly what Zoe's viewpoint is and why exactly they took their kids out of school. So Zoe starts off by saying, so we have had a pretty epic week here this week, and it has come with some big decisions which I thought I would share with you all here before we put the vlog and other posts out. I am fuming that the people who pay for this get the information first. Mind you, they do pay £6. So what do you want for £6, right? Anyway, we have finally made the decision to home educate the twins. They have been having some ongoing problems with their new school. Well, not the school exactly, but the teacher. And that is very, very clear because Zoe hinted at it being the teacher, right? Okay, she gave quite good hints at it being the teacher in the vlog that they put up, right? But they didn't outright say it was the teacher. In here, it's definitely the teacher. It's not the school. It is the teacher. And I find this very interesting that they would single out one teacher, which, you know, we have no idea what this teacher is like. Now, if you guys know, if anybody knows this teacher that they're talking about, obviously don't name her or him, but, you know, let me know, is this teacher as bad as Zoe is making out? That's what I want to know. Because I've known some bad teachers in my time, but, you know, I didn't get taken out of school for it anyway. But she goes on to say, we have tried to rectify the problems, but they are not getting the support they need. And without going into too many details, as I have to be a little bit careful what I say. No, do you really? Come on, spill the beans, Zoe. You know you want to. Why put a half story out there? I don't understand that. Why put a half story if you're not going to tell the full story? Because it's pointless. Then just leave it. Just don't say anything. Because at the moment you're kind of putting accusations out there towards one specific teacher, and they don't have a comeback on this. They don't have the right of reply, and that's unfair on them, I feel. Anyway, she goes on to say, I have to be careful what I say. Despite complaints, meetings and the like, nothing is going to change. So we are taking them out of the system. It seems a bit extreme. Taking them out of the system just because of one teacher. Maybe this teacher they will get more of a handle on. And by the way, right, isn't that a little bit overzealous? Because what are we in at the moment? January, a few months, and they'll be on to another teacher after that. If it's just this teacher, that's the issue. I'm not saying that they don't have to. I mean, I don't know what they're going through, the kids, right? I'm not saying that their feelings are invalid, right? I'd never say that. For now, Agnes and Toby are staying where they are, but that may well change for Agnes in due course as well, as she would be due to have the same teacher next academic year. So it sounds very much like this one particular teacher is really problematic. They do not want Agnes going into that year group with that teacher at all. I find it hard to believe that this one teacher is so problematic that they're just removing all the kids from school because of this teacher, and nothing can be done. No common ground can be made despite all these meetings, they can't find a common ground to sort the issues out. What is so bad that this teacher is doing but not doing to the rest of the school? Yeah, you know, just picking on the twins apparently. As you all know, the idea of home educating the children has been something we have been contemplating for probably about the past 3 years, but we haven't been brave enough to take the leap. But at the end of the day, we are putting the children into a system that we don't fully trust. No, Zoe, it is your teacher, or the teacher you don't trust, apparently. But anyway, I feel like the education system has changed immensely over the past 10 years, and the system we are putting our younger children into now is not the same as it used to be at all. Budget cuts, staff cuts, and support cuts have pushed an already struggling system to near breaking point. Don't get me wrong, there are some truly amazing teachers and support staff out there, but there are also some which shouldn't be teaching. You mean who shouldn't be teaching? Teachers are people, right? People. Who, not which. Anyway, a teacher truly can make or break a child, but you're talking about two different things here. On the one hand, you're saying staff cuts and budget cuts, right? But on the other hand, you're saying teachers are bad. Right, it's the teachers that can make or break a child, which actually there is a certain case for that. If you get a bad teacher teaching a child, it can break them, right? But that has nothing to do with staff cuts and budget cuts, I don't think, unless they're skimping on the quality of staff that they're getting, right? She goes on to say, teaching isn't... Right, now this is absolutely horrendous. What's going to go on here, right? Okay, so brace yourself for what is about to come. Teaching is about shouting at children. I think she means isn't about. This is where grammar and spelling mistakes and things like that do actually matter. Some people say, oh, it doesn't matter about grammar. Well, of course it fucking does, because like that says a completely different thing, right? Anyway, teaching isn't about shouting at children if they don't get it right. I don't know any teachers that shout at... Do teachers shout at kids? I mean, I want all the parents in the comments below, right? Tell me, do teachers act like this in primary school, right? Do they do that? Because I'm struggling to believe it's true. Anyway, it isn't about making a child feel guilty for not doing their homework. Benjamin, I'm going to talk to you right now, because not too long ago in a vlog, right? And this is going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. But what did you do, right? What did you do? It was a Sunday, if I remember rightly, and your kids were wanting to do their homework, right? Can't believe I'm even having to say this, right? Your kids wanted to do homework, including your twins. And what did you say to them? You said something along the lines of, let's go out and play in the garden. You can do maths anytime, or something along those lines, wasn't it? Homework's not important. Playing outside in the garden is important. You need to get your fresh air, guys. You can't be doing your homework. We need to film you for content for the vlog. That was basically what it was all about. Ben wanted to take the kids outside so they could film for the vlog, and the kids wanted to do homework. and now the teacher is apparently making the child feel guilty for not doing the homework, even though they wanted to do the homework, and Ben wouldn't let them. Do you see where the problem lies? Do you think that maybe the buck actually stops with the parents in this particular instance? Because it sounds like it's Ben's fault and Zoe's fault, right? It isn't about humiliating a child in front of their peers. Now, obviously, again, that's wrong if that is what the teacher is doing. I would have thought that sort of teaching style was outlawed years ago, right? I just don't see it. Maybe it is a thing. I don't know. It isn't telling a are you gonna love this one? Are you gonna absolutely love this one? It isn't telling a child that they are nothing special, right? Right, okay, so I have so much to say about this particular comment. I can't imagine a teacher of 9-year-old children telling them specifically, oh, you're nothing special, you're not special, right? I can, however, imagine this scenario, right? The kids, now I don't want to bash on the kids because they're only 9, right? The kids are in school and they're boasting about YouTube. They think they're better than their peers because they're on YouTube and they're famous, right? I feel like this may be an issue, right? Honestly, I feel like that the twins have gone into school and they're acting like they're something big and special, and the teachers turned around and said something along the lines of, "You're not special, you know, just because you're on YouTube, you're not special." That sort of conversation space, right? I can't imagine it being anything else. And if that is the thing, again, that's an issue with Ben, Zoe, and YouTube, right? Building your kids up to think that they are superstars online when they're not. Because they're not. They're not special, right? They're just children. They're just ordinary children. They're going to school. And that's the end of it, right? I'm not saying that they are definitely doing that, but I feel like it's around that sort of that sort of thing, right? It's something to do with YouTube. I feel like that is it. So I can't imagine a teacher just for no reason telling them that they're not special, because every child in their own right are special, you know. They are. That's yeah. So they should be trying to big them up, but I can't imagine them not doing that. This teacher must be absolutely horrendous in that case. But yeah, no, it's something to do with YouTube. It's got to be. I'm sorry. It isn't about deliberately withdrawing support from a child that needs it. Right? Again, I touched on this the other day, but I can't imagine that teacher's taken support away from them out of some sort of spite. This is what Zoe is suggesting here, that the teacher has taken like materials away from them when they need like support to hear and support to read and stuff like that. I can't imagine that being the case. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't get my head around that actually being a thing. And if it is a thing, surely to goodness, if you've complained to the school and they've looked at it and had a word with the teacher then turns around and just gives them the support back. You know? Or maybe it could well be that Ben and Zoe think that the twins need extra support in terms of teaching assistant times and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing, possibly. She goes on to say, and it isn't about making a child feel stupid if they are struggling with the work. Again, I think this is, I don't know. I'm not going to be bashing the children because I don't know what they've said. I don't know if they've embellished things that have happened, or maybe internalized things a little bit more than they should have done. I'm not saying, maybe their feelings are completely valid, right? So I don't want to invalidate their feelings entirely or at all. So, but I think this whole paragraph here is very problematic, and this is really horrendously bashing this teacher, whoever it is, right? And this Zoe's been very clever about it. She's put it on her Patreon, where the teachers are unlikely to see it. So I hope that whoever it is that is a teacher at that school sees this video and has a cause for concern, I would have thought. Anyway, I just think that whatever's gone on, it is down to Ben and Zoe. It's not down to the teacher, or it might be partially down to the teacher. I've had some bad teachers in my life, right? And I know there are some worse teachers, but the sort of things that they're suggesting just doesn't add up to me. She goes on to say, so we have taken their education into our own hands, and I know we will get plenty of backlash for it, but so be it. I can't watch the twins become more and more anxious anymore. And that's a point. You know, if the twins are a bit anxious because of school, you know, you do need to do something. I'm not suggesting you don't do anything, because at the end of the day, those twins need an education, and they need to be looked after adequately. And trust me, anxiety is no fun, even for a child, right? Or especially for a child. It's not a barrel of laughs. Zoe goes on then to say, there are a lot of things that we don't show or talk about on social media, but the twins have been suffering with anxiety for the past few months now. It started with them not being able to travel in the car. They would have a total meltdown about being in the car, thinking they were getting too hot, going to be sick, screaming. It was awful. Neither of them can now sleep on the top bunk of the triple bunk either, and they panic about being hot or being sick. This is just two of the ways that their anxiety has shown, and it's horrible for them. And I imagine it is actually horrible for them. So again, I'm not bashing the twins for how they feel about this, but I am questioning what Zoe and Ben are actually doing to those twins at the school. What are they causing them? We always show the positive parts of our life because we want to uplift people, but that doesn't mean we aren't dealing with all the other stuff too. And it's the showing the stuff that is the problem. Showing your kids online, it can't come to any good. It just can't. And it's showing it here. I guarantee it is YouTube related. There is no way, right? There is no way that this teacher is somehow just picking on these two girls in her class. If this teacher is as bad as they suggest, then it's going to be across the board, and other kids will be feeling it too, but I don't know. So we now have 4 at home being home educated, as Eva has also been out of school since last year now as well, but that's a whole other story. I bet it is. Again, YouTube related, I 100% guarantee it is, right? I know it's easy to blame YouTube for everything, but I'm sure it is. All I know is that we are totally focused and 100% committed to giving them the best we can in every aspect of their lives. And that's fabulous. You should be. Absolutely should be. Whether or not you're 100% committed to giving them the best is another matter. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I've seen you've been uploading shorts recently, and you've been out and about whilst with the twins and uploading. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like you're committed to whatever it is you're doing with them. You know, you do actually have to do school work. Just because you're taking them out of school doesn't mean to say they get away with not doing any work anymore. But there you go. So I had a quick look through some of the replies on this. Obviously, everybody was supporting them and saying, oh my God, it's unbelievable how the teachers are treating them. And it's unbelievable, Zoe, you've done the greatest thing that you could ever do for them and take them out. This is one comment which I needed to pick up on. From Heather, she says, I am absolutely thrilled to hear you say all of this. Thrilled, in fact, not just happy and just thrilled though. I am in total agreement with you that the system has changed immensely, even here in the US. I have been in education for the past 27 years. I have taught for 25 of those years, and I worked exclusively with kids on the spectrum for the first 2 years. It saddens me and also angers me when I hear of stories like this. I find it unbelievable that you are a teacher, right? You're an actual school teacher, and you are thrilled that people are taking the kids out of school. Surely you would want to keep the kids in school because, you know, that's your livelihood, you know, after all. But now she's happy that parents are just going to take their kids out and everything. I don't understand why people go into teaching if they really don't like children. And anyone who treats a child like this does not like children. Yeah, but you only have Zoe and Ben to, you know, their word for it. You only have their word for it. You don't know if that's actually what's happened, or you don't know the context of what's happened because you're not hearing the other side of it, are you? And that's what you need to do. You need to ask yourself, why is this the case? And if you are an actual teacher, you must have come across problematic parents in the past, right? So yeah, I've noticed an uptick of anxiety with students in the last couple of years. Kids should not have to deal with anxiety because their world doesn't feel stable in some area. I think the uptick of anxiety has a lot to do with social media, right? So I don't think you can blame teaching as such. Obviously, it has changed, teaching and schooling and everything. So there is an issue there, but a lot of it has to do with social media, I would have thought. It's awful that the twins have experienced this, and I am happy you pulled them out. The educational system is designed to take all of the creativity and originality out of children, to make them sit for hours and learn things they will never need. Children need to interact and experience their environment. So you are a teacher, and you're saying that the way kids are taught is wrong, and the things that they learn is wrong. I can't, right? Why don't you leave teaching if you hate it so much? They need to ask questions, investigate, experiment, and get their hands dirty to challenge their thinking, learn resiliency and self-regulation. These are not taught in a traditional school setting. I am also so glad that you pulled Eva out. When she did a complete 180 last year around Christmas, I was so concerned about her. I am happy to hear she is starting to become herself again. Why were you so invested in Eva? What's she, like 13? I'm sorry, you're so glad you pulled Eva out of school as well. Yeah, and you were that concerned about her. But did you ask yourself why she was having problems? Because she was put, her life and her family has been put all over social media, and the kids at school know this. It's just, you know, think about that. My God, why can't people just think? I don't know. She calls herself a school teacher. She has no critical thinking whatsoever. If you need any guidance on what to teach or how to help with anxiety, I am happy to help. I also have a degree in counselling for trauma and crisis care, along with being trained and experienced with autism. I'm really excited for this next phase of life for them, and I'm here to support and encourage you. You're doing a fantastic job. Once again, though, right? A teacher of actual children who has no problem with actual children being exploited for money and being put out for predators online. No problem with it whatsoever. In your own words, Heather, why go into teaching if you don't care about kids? There you go. Anyway, that is the update, and I'm quite shooketh about it all. It seems like the Sullys are losing the plot a little bit, and one of the teachers is heavily under fire. You know, I think that's a bit of a problem, and we need to address it. If you have appreciated this video, please give it a massive thumbs up, comment all of your thoughts about it down below, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye-bye.